Fraud! Let's talk about it. You know, a lot of y'all say you look at me like a father figure, an uncle, a big brother, a friend. So I'm here to give y'all some family advice, okay? So, one of my friends sent me a write-up the other day, and it was a list of people in my area that were part of the PPP loan fraud scandal that happened across the damn nation. Okay? Now, you guys that don't know what this is, I believe it's Paycheck Protection Program, and it was set up by the government to help out small businesses, giving them loans because of the problems that the pandemic caused. Okay? Businesses were floundering, they needed help. So if you were a small business, you had opportunity to get a loan from the government with a possibility of 100% full forgiveness. Okay? I got this list, and somebody that I know is on this list. And I know this person. I don't know them like this, but we know each other very well. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know the amount of time that you can get for defrauding the government on this? I was speaking to a couple of people about it. And from what I understand, see, you know, when you commit a crime, a lot of times you think it's just one crime you're committing. It's not. Because in order to do the crime, you might have had to do this and do that, to do that, to do that, to finally commit the crime. So you actually committed 5 or 6 crimes instead of just one. From what I understand, people that did this could get up to 40 years in prison. 40! Mind you, the person that I know is my age. I'm like, are you... Listen, I understand, trust me, I understand how tough it was during the pandemic. However, defrauding the government is not the answer, folks. Okay? There's a lot of people out there that I truly believe did not weigh the consequences with the outcome. They couldn't have. How could you have thought that this was a good idea? How? Okay? Look, like I said, look, let me tell you something. I've talked to Scarlo before, and I said, listen, before I commit a crime, I will eat rice and beans every day. Okay? Rice and beans are extremely cheap. I will be fed. Okay? I will go into debt before I commit a crime. I will. I've been in debt before. Hey, I've had bad credit before. Or credit in the 500s. Now I'm at 830 or higher. Listen, I've been there. I will destroy my credit, okay, and eat rice and beans, okay, before I commit a crime. Because here's the thing. Even some of y'all gonna say, well, I got kids and that. Okay, so then you get caught. And then you go to prison. So then, now, your children don't have a father or a mother around, right? Is that what you want? There are several... Where there's a will, there's a way, folks. Where there's a will, there is a way. I grew up in a town where most, if not around half, of the guys that I knew all were involved in something illegal. Every single one of them had been arrested before, sent to prison, whatever. Especially all the cool guys I knew, they were all involved in something. Most of us were all poor. Here and there you had some parents that were doing a little bit better than others, but nobody's parents was rich. You know what I mean? They're not even middle class. Most people I knew was poor. So if there was people that survived being poor without doing something illegal, like, why do you gotta take that route? It's like the dark side. It's the easier, faster route, but it's very heavily damaging to your life and soul. Anyway, it's ridiculous because it took money from legitimate business owners that were floundering, that needed the loans. Because I believe the loan program was like extended. It came out like once, twice, three times. And I think by the second or third time, legitimate business owners, because I talked to these, I'm like, yo, did you get the PPP loan? And they're like, nah, man, because of this fraud going on, like so many people took money out of the fund that were not legitimate businesses. I can't get my loan now. And I'm like, that is effed up. First of all, I don't understand, how did the government allow themselves to be frauded like that? Like, don't you have a check system that lets you know whether these people are sole proprietors or LLCs or whatever. Sounds like a chink in the armor to me. I don't understand how that many people defrauded the government. But the fact of the matter is, accountability here, folks. And I'm going to do a video on accountability because a lot of you want me to do videos on manhood, and one of them is accountability. You are accountable for your actions. There's a certain point in time where after a certain age, especially, and it's an early age, trust me, before your teens, you're accountable for your actions, okay? There's a point where you know right from wrong, and don't nobody want to hear your damn excuses about why you did something, okay? If you had control over it, you are accountable. They don't want to hear, oh, I was broke, I just lost my job, and my wife left me. They don't want to hear it. Because there's guys who just lost their job and whose wives left them that didn't do what you did. Because they chose to do something else. Okay? I've been in some of the worst conditions in my life. I've been homeless. Okay? I've, lived with friends in a room, or lived in a motel, a scuzzy-ass motel with mice, okay? I've been the poor kid with roaches and couldn't get nothing, and everybody else had Jordans on and all the cool shit and video games and toys. I've been there, okay? Like I said, where there's a will, there's a way. Plenty of poor folk out there that don't commit no crime. So, post comments down below. I just had to do a video on this damn fraud thing. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And now somebody I know at heart is a good person, but probably did it out of desperation, could be facing 40 fucking years. It's ridiculous. 10 million subscribers. Whoa.